Hi, welcome back. Brian here on a Doodle with me video. But I'm going to do something slightly different in this video. I'm just going to show you basically this template that I'm using, and I'll give you a heads up on where you can download it. So we've got that coming up in just a moment. Okay, I'm in Procreate, and I'm going to start a new canvas. Now the canvas I'm using is a square canvas at 2048 by 2048 pixels. Obviously you can change that size. The template is basically a square, and because it's a background template, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit pixelated, if you're making it really big or whatever. But that's the size of the template, and it will come in a PNG, which has its own benefits. So anyway, I'm going to open up a blank canvas. I want to show you how I use this template, and why it's got so many lines on it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and images and insert a file. Yeah, you could turn them into photos, I suppose. Now I've got a few different types of these templates, but the one we're going to be looking at is the 5 circle one. I'll explain what that is. So there it is there, and it's obviously because it's the same size, it's all nicely extended. Or you could just press fit to screen, and that would boom, put it on there for you. So I'm now going to unselect that, and then what you could do is you could come into your layers, press the N, and you could lower the opacity so it's not so in your face. But just for a little while I'm just going to have it on false, because I want to show you what all these lines are about. Now there is another template you get in the pack, and I'm going to bring that in. Because they're PNGs, you can lay them on top of each other. So there's one here called Mandala Template Circles, and I'm going to bring that in. As you can see, it's the same size. So that's on top. And you can turn that one on and off like that, and they're transparent backgrounds. So the reason the circles is handy is because it helps you, define your curves, and shapes and stuff if you want to use it. There are other things you can overlay on top of this template. I'll bring them out and put them on the site as well. Other styles you can put on top, but I'll talk about that another time. So let's have a look at this template and how you could possibly use it. I'm going to go in here and turn on that new assist, but first of all I must say you need to add a blank layer, because you don't want to draw on your templates. So anyway, I'm getting set up. So I'm going to select the top template and the bottom template by dragging that, and I'm going to put that into a group so I can close that down, and then I can just turn both off at the same time and stuff. On top of that, I've got a blank layer, my drawing layer, whatever you want, sketching or whatever you're going to use that layer for. So that all said and done, we're ready to get started. I'm going to go into here now and turn that into an assisted layer. I'm going to turn this drawing guide on. I'm going to go in there symmetrically, and I actually like that one turned on at the bottom. I've got it on radial, and just to make things a little bit clearer for me, I'm going to change the color to a bright red. In fact, let me try maybe a gold color, because I know the template hasn't, I don't think it's got a gold line, so gold color, and done. So if I move that, because it's probably underneath that blue line there. Yeah, so okay, this is the template. Now this one's a 5 ring template, and that basically is these rings here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and obviously the more rings you got, the smaller those rings become. And I've got up to, I think it's 5, 7 and 10. So you can imagine if you had a 10 here, these rings would be quite squashed down, and the details would be a lot finer. Although you could, obviously jump to and stuff. So you can do that. But I like the 5 when I'm doing a quick meditation, because it's just less. Your graphics can be bigger, and you fill it up quicker. And yeah. So what are all these lines about? So let's have a look at the rings first of all. You've got this circle here, which you can, you can draw. That's weird. That you can draw. Oh, see, I'm in that layer. So get on that layer. I've been having problems lately. I don't know if it's. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my pad. I don't know if it's this update or this pad, but it's not. But it's not good. Wow, that was slow, wasn't it? Right, not quite sure what's going on, but I'll carry on. I always like to keep these things in my videos because I like to show you how I'm dealing with it, in case you get the same problems. And I really do need to find out what's going on. And I must say, a lot of these problems have happened since the Procreate update. So, who knows? So, back to where I was. The first circle. I'm going to draw something in here because I'm using this widget as my guide. And as you notice, the assist didn't come on, did it? That's probably because I was on there. Anyway, let's turn on assist. Where are you? Oh look, it's all gone off again. Anyway, let me get all that back on again. And we had it on gold, wasn't it? Done. There you go, assisted. I'll probably keep all this in because just shows you that we all have issues with this bloody thing. So anyway, I want to fill up this widget because I'm using it as a guide, and just show you that's that circle. And then you got this outer circle, and you notice that I've got a dotted line going around here, and that's the dotted line I made sort of in my head means optional. So sometimes we want to have more finer detail, so we could maybe fill up this line here like that, and you give yourself a ring, don't you, there? So the dotted line really is an option, and you don't have to use that dotted line. You could improvise on it and come in, say, the middle of that dotted line. It's just really there as a guide for you. So you might want that as a smaller. God, I really think this is all happening since this update. This lagginess. Yeah, anyway, so it's there purely as a guide, and now I've done that sort of in the middle. Maybe I would come back in and start doing something like this, a sort of smaller pattern, sort of half the size of what it would have been, like that. And I don't know. You could do anything underneath there, couldn't you? Just to do something. Yeah, so that's purely there for if you want to use it or not. So now let's have a look at these other lines we got. Obviously, you've got this solid line here, which is the 8 marker. And if you see the line goes up the center. And sometimes you might want to move that line over, so it's not so, it's not, you're not drawing in this direction. Maybe you wanted that in the center, and that's what all these other lines are for. You see, you've got these dotted pink lines here, for example. I could make that, my marker, well, not that one, but that. Or I suppose the red one would be the better one. If I went up in that direction, you can see how that's sort of like these blue ones, but it's moved over. I know it's hard to see, but once you start drawing, the lines you're using becomes more clearer. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's basically like you've moved that blue one over. And you can do that midway through your drawing as well. That's what I like about it. But what I all these dotted lines are for. There you go. It keeps going funny. Anyway, what all these dotted lines are for reference. You know. So if I just take that off, for example, and I don't know. Let's have a look at the pink line here. Not quite centered, is it? That one, sort of slightly over. But I think the reason I put the pink one in was purely just to, you know, when you're building up your thing, you can use it as a guide throughout the pattern. But the red and the blue definitely you would use as your widget position, if you know what I mean. The red ones, the mauve ones, I should say. Come on, undo. These ones. If I draw that one slightly over, but that's not the one I was. Like that. Same sort of thing. Yeah, I think I can't. That one, to be honest, is throwing me a little bit because I can't remember why I put it in there. But I think I did it to split these widgets up here. So because you could do things like this and divide. See how that's divided now into, you know, 3 parts. I think that's why I put that there. But it all helps anyway when you actually go in. It's really handy to have these lines in there, even if you're not using them for their purpose. You can still make use of them. Like when you're up here, you can divide this up like that, and you've given yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 markers there and stuff like that. You know, you're dividing it up using these as guides, and that's what the template's all about. But what you can do as well is you can come into here and activate the circles, and it's quite handy. And what that's good for is when you're doing like these big sort of shapes, it's just there. It really is there to hide you. Obviously that's not on assist at the moment, but you get the idea. If you find out why I'm getting this lag, let us know in the comments, because it's really annoying. If I turn on assist in here, draw an assist, there you go. Now that will work. Like so. And you can use them for obviously these lines like that. See how that's all fitted in now. And then maybe you know, you could do things like that to bring that in using these curves. Obviously you'll lower the opacity, and this big one is quite good for that sort of pattern. I love that. But you can do whatever you want with it, obviously. It's, you know, you don't have to stick with what it is. It's totally up to you. I'll brush that a little bit. There you go, and maybe have one up there like that. But it helps you to center, because you see that line, and it's when you're drawing, it sort of helps you with your direction to give it a bit of a, you know, a symmetrical feel. Obviously here you could probably get away with splitting that up and have 2 different designs going on up there. So the circles sort of help you as well if you want to use, you know, the circles. So that's quite good. Clear that now. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're going on a bit. So anyway, that's the template, and I'll show you where you can get that template. If you pop over to the website, one line at a time. I'm still working on this site, really mucking about with it. But it's got a shop, and the template you're looking for is this one here: 5 rings plus circles. There, and there's no buy button because you need to be logged in. And if you log in, then you get updated when there's more templates obviously coming out. I never spam emails or give them away or anything like that. It's totally private. It's really up to you. Anyway, I'd get a Gmail. That's what I do anyway. Yeah, so that's the template there, and you just simply register. Yeah, it's a bit slow. Like that, and create a good username, email obviously, and blah blah blah. And you go onto the free membership, so it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And then what you do is you pop over to the shop. Hopefully, pop over to the shop. Yeah, and some other cool templates here as well for they're like practice sheets. But this is the template you'd want to use on your Procreate. And once you're signed in, you simply add it to your cart. It's free. It's not going to charge you anything. So yeah, all good stuff. Yeah, so that's basically the template. This writing on the top is there just for courtesy for me, but obviously when you've done your drawing, you're going to turn off that anyway, and obviously then say, publish your drawing wherever you're doing it, Instagram or wherever, and that won't be there. But it's purely there because in maybe a year's time you forget where you got this template, and then you'll say, oh yeah, I got it from one line at a time. Let's see if they've got any more templates. Yeah, but I must say I do tend to lower the opacity on these things quite down like that, otherwise they do get in your way a little bit, a bit in your face. So yeah, and then obviously you can just work away, and if you think, well, I'm not going to be doing curves, just turn it off. That's why I made it all separate, so that you can do that. But there are other things that I've made that fit this template. Like you got different shapes that get spread around the template, so you can work within shapes and stuff like that. You can really add a lot of things to it, and make your drawings more interesting and look more different and stuff. So you sort of play around with it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all good stuff. Indeedy. Remember, let me know if you're having the same problem with this dragging around, although it's a bit better now. But I've noticed it more since the update, and I'm hoping it's not Procreate, and if it is, I hope they fix it. But if you're having the same sort of issue, it'd be great if you put it in the comments and let us know how you fixed it, or if you know what it's about and why it's happening. That'd be great, and it might help other people as well. Remember, thanks again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to press that subscribe button and that bell just to keep updated. I do try and keep the videos short and sweet, I must say. Yeah, this video I wasn't really talking about doodling, but I wanted to show the template that I was using. And I've opened up a Flickr group where you can share your pictures. I find Flickr, I quite like Flickr groups because they're not so fast moving, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I just like it. But you can get, if you haven't got a Flickr account, you can just make a free account and you get loads of free storage. So that's always good. I will pop a link to that somewhere at some point. Yeah, actually, those that know me, I'm very disorganized. Anyway, thanks again for your support with these, subscribing and giving the thumbs up and stuff. And your comments are always good to see and fun. So yeah, talk again soon. Be good out there, and let's doodles.